On September 21st, 2025, at the State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, the public memorial for Charlie Kirk took place. And boy, did it deliver. Not only was the stadium packed, it felt like maybe it was over 100,000 people in there. But when you watched it online, it was sometimes over 500,000 people watching at the same time. And of course, you had some of the biggest politicians on planet Earth who spoke.
It's today, America is a nation in grief, a nation in shock, and a nation in mourning. Less than 2 weeks ago, our country was robbed of one of the brightest lights of our times, a giant of his generation, and above all, a devoted husband, father, son, Christian, and patriot. Charles James Kirk was heinously murdered by a radicalized, cold-blooded monster for speaking the truth that was in his heart. He was violently killed because he spoke for freedom and justice, for God and country, for reason and for common sense.
And of course, Charlie Kirk's wife.
That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Now guys, I'm gonna be honest. I saw Charlie Kirk online here and there, but before all this happened, I didn't even really know his name. If you would have said Charlie Kirk, I would not know who you were talking about. But, so this is all shocking. And not only is this support that he's receiving shocking me, it's also shocking his enemies.
Because I was actually surprised, the outpouring of support, because like I said, I looked at him as obviously politically extremely powerful, but besides that, kind of inconsequential. I didn't think he had such a passionate following. And to see how many millions of people that were genuinely touched, it's like, obviously, I wasn't paying close enough attention. Obviously, he was getting through on a different level maybe than I was even thinking about.
When we're talking about support, it's just not coming out to the venue.
Charlie Kirk's memorial is currently underway, and they have national level security. We talking homeland security for his memorial, wasting people's good tax dollars because this amount of people showed up at 4 a.m. And I'd also like to point out this and this.
People are complaining about the tax dollars, but I'll tell you why they're really mad.
Why the does Charlie Kirk need a fundraiser? Why the are you sheeple donating millions of dollars to an already millionaire?
You see, the fact that people are not only coming out and supporting this guy, but they're donating their money to a man that's a millionaire. Let's go to the day in question in which Charlie Kirk officially passed away, which was September 11th. Tucker Carlson and Neil Patel posted this. We met Charlie Kirk when he was 18 through our friend Foster Freeze and have known him well since. He was an amazing person. It's hard to find the right words in a moment like this or to understand exactly what's happened. But in the meantime, we want to do everything we can for Charlie's widow, Erika, and their 2 small children. We've set up a Give, Send, Go page on their behalf and seeding it with $1 million from Outpouch. The link is below. Every dollar will go to Charlie's family, okay? And when you go to that, what do you see? Well, as of right now, this video recording, we see the goal is $6 million and they have received $5.4 million. But this shows you something that a lot of black people don't want to admit. Number one, when our leaders get killed or something happens to them or somebody stands up for us, they never get any kind of support. We're going to be honest. Let me give you an example. I won't call him a leader. When Colin Kaepernick got suspended from the NFL because he was taking a knee on the behalf of the community, everybody was putting up their fist. But when he got banned from the league, nobody came and said, you know what? It's Colin Kaepernick. We want to come out and support the stance that we felt that he's taken for the community. Did that happen? No, not $1. All right. It got so bad that he actually wanted to come back and play football and basically settled out of court because he had no real support from blacks. And see, when you look at somebody like Charlie Kirk and why they can go so hard, it's because not only is there a market for how they're talking, there is support for how they're talking. Look at Alex Jones. Alex Jones got booted from YouTube a long time ago, all right? And InfoWars is still cracking, still going strong to this day. You wanna know why? Because white people just don't support with likes and comments. They actually come out and support with what they have immediately. It didn't take them 24 hours to make sure that Charlie Kirk's wife will be taken care of forever. And when people talk about the black community and how disunited we are or ununited we are and all the problems that they have and why they pick on us, because they know we will never support each other. This is something that they know. That's why it's easy to pick on blacks, but it's not easy to pick on, let's say, the Jews. It's not easy to pick on the Arabs or pick on the Hispanics, because the Hispanics and the whites and the Jews and the Arabs, they understand their strength is supporting one another, okay? And then at the same time, when you get your Candace Owens and you get your Brandon Tatums, we sit back and we call them sellouts, right? And I get it. They are sellouts in my honest opinion. But then you come back and you ask the question, what would they get by sticking with the community? And I'll tell you what they get, usually zero, all right? Want to be honest, it's zero. To get something from the black community, you have to have certain things about you. Like, you need to be like extremely charismatic. You need to be like animated, funny, or extremely handsome, or good looking, or something to get black people's support. If you're standing up for a good cause, something that helps black America, people will look at you here and there, but definitely they ain't gonna support you like that. Not for real, for real. And if somehow you get in trouble or get in the bind, forget about it. They ain't gonna help you. Them same people that was talking about how much they support you, how much they there for you, it's not gonna happen, okay? And so a lot of the people that basically go over to these communities, like to the moderate right or to the extreme right, or I would say that's even like the Groypers. And yes, you do have black people who are in the Groyper community who like do not like blacks. It's because of, well, they see this, right? White people have come out and supported a guy. And if you want to call the guy an alleged racist, which I think he is, Charlie Kirk was, in my honest opinion, because he only supported blacks that had the same negative opinion about blacks as him. But the one thing is, it doesn't matter when your people will ride or die with you. That's all that matters. For him to pack out that particular stadium today, and I can say it was all races that were there, but for the most that I saw, it was mostly white. And for white people to come out and support him in the way that they did means that they agree with what he says about blacks, okay? That's what it says. He's supposed to be a Christian and loving God, but hey, preaching some of that stuff against the black community, they agree. And not only are they willing to agree, they're willing to put their money behind it that they're willing to agree. And so when black people look at racism and try to counter that, we take a different approach. Like, you guys should stop that. You guys should stop looking at us like that. It's just not right for you to do that. Well, the reality is you're not gonna support each other, or we don't support each other for them to stop it. The only way that we could stop it is if we were to actually come together to try to work together, and they understand that black people are just not gonna do that, which means that not only is this anti-hatred towards blacks growing, their support for one another is growing stronger. We've all seen how Charlie Kirk's fans have come together and I'm talking about on a tear. And what have they done? They have gathered all these screenshots from people making all these negative comments and literally gotten people fired. Not only just the blacks, other whites. They have come together to make a statement, all right? And then when it comes to that statement, black people, I'm gonna be honest, we don't even think like that. We don't even think like we should all come together and do the same things when that happens. Because when the George Floyd thing was going on and all of that was happening, we saw the negative memes. I would see sometimes white folks would put their face on the officers that was putting his knee on the neck of George Floyd, and they were making memes of it, and we never thought about calling getting any of them fired, but that's how they think, all right? So they're willing to not play, I won't say fair, because cancel culture was really started by Democrats, but they're playing that game. They'll play dirty. They play with their money. They're willing to elevate a guy and basically say he's like Martin Luther King, or like, he's just like the next coming of Christ. See, this is what we don't understand, and how much trouble we may be in. Because if they can come out and support a guy like this, what does it do? It gives more ammunition for another guy to come out like Charlie Kirk. What white people are pretty much saying with this, those who support Charlie Kirk, is listen, guys, there is a market for this, and you can get paid for this. And even if something happens to you, don't worry. We will take care of your wife and your kids. I can remember in 2015, you would never get a person like Charlie Kirk that was Caucasian willing to come out and say some of the things he was talking about, all right? You would have to go and find blacks to come out and say things like that. And then like by 2016, 2017, your Officer Tatum's, your Candace Owens, your black conservatives were getting very, very popular because white people just at that time didn't feel comfortable. You would have a few that might say some things, but it's kind of more underground. Alex Jones, I don't really remember him talking about it on race, but he was real, real big. But they wouldn't go directly to the point like Charlie Kirk, and then going around campus to campus talking about these things. I mean, obviously he just wouldn't do that, right? But here's the funny thing about this. By the time Turning Point USA 2018, 2019, you get this young guy who dropped out of college and was not afraid of being demonetized, not afraid of losing his channel, willing to go out and engage people. And guess what you saw? A white guy proving to the world that this market not only exists, it is lucrative, and people will come out and support it, okay? And if you pass away, we will not only support your organization, but your wife and kids. And so what you're going to see is not only more white Charlie Kirks, you're gonna see more anti-black guys like Charlie Kirk, who is African. Like, look at Myron Gaines. Myron Gaines is already taking a play out of Charlie Kirk's playbook, going to colleges, debating on the streets, basically pushing a sentiment, but he's way worse than Charlie Kirk in that way because he actually talks about the N-word and all this. So these guys are going to try to even get worse, right? Their content is going to get even more worse, trying to be that guy, trying to be the next guy that can be the next millionaire, that can be, next to, Donald Trump and Tucker Carlson and get political money from, maybe some kind of foreign state, whatever they want to talk about. And guys, this doesn't look good for us because the more that we are not donating to the people that we like or supporting, they know that we're a punching bag. They're going to keep punching us, blaming us for everything, because to them, we'll be powerless. And this is something that I will say that Charlie Kirk understood about Black America to a certain part. Like, we will unite to a certain degree, but not to the degree of how whites are uniting. And until we typically fix that issue, we're going to be the punching bag in America, and then we're going to have to really come together to figure that out. And that means that spending money with each other, going out of our way to do business with each other, is the only way forward that even makes sense. Like, there is no way we can be a minority and these whites are more than us, and then they are more united than us. Like, that's the difference. You can't be the smaller group and less united. This is what you can learn from the Jews. The Jews are a smaller group, extremely united. The Arabs in America, okay? Certain Asians, and their power is in their unity. With us, it's the opposite. We're a big minority, not united. Even the Hispanics. Puerto Ricans don't like Mexicans, don't like Dominicans. They have an issue, but when it comes to Latino movements, they're united. And then they can do stuff like this. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea D. Jackson. Back at it again with another episode of Celebrity Drunk. Appreciate you for all you do. Turn the bell. We're out.